Namaskar. Disturbing revelations coming out of the 𝗤𝙤𝗀𝘁 hospital episode. A former superintendent of the hospital has made some startling claims over the principal, Mr. Ghosh, who is now under the lens. What he is saying is that Dr. Ghosh was involved in criminal activity, that he would sell unclaimed dead bodies. He was also part of an organ trafficking racket, and that anything that was bought by the hospital, he would get a 20% cut. These are all his allegations. And he's also being probed by a four-man SIT for financial irregularities. Just take a look at this, guys. And when this man brought it up, he was shunted out of this hospital. His name is Akhtar Ali, and he has already come on News 18 and made all these leveled all these allegations. And we have to wait and see what Dr. Ghosh has to say, because remember, the man who he pointed as the perpetrator, he was his guy, somebody by the name of Roy. Whereas we now have other information that is coming saying that there are 5 people involved, that Roy's name is not there. Of the 5 people involved, 4 happen to be from one community. I don't have to tell you which one. One of them is a woman, supposedly an intern, and she was a friend of the person who was raped and killed. It's just distressing the way this has been done. And next, the rape victim's diary was found near her body, and looks like some pages were removed, but it does give you an idea of the thought process of this intern. She was very ambitious, she was very smart, she wanted to be the gold medalist, she wanted to really fly high. She had a list of hospitals that she wanted to go to, list of disciplines that she wanted to pursue. So a very ambitious person who was very hardworking also. Her life has been snapped. And what really led to that? This is a big question, and many new questions are arising. What kind of a racket was being done? Is this something that is isolated to just one medical college, or is this the norm? And now, if it is the norm, is it limited to only West Bengal, or should we look at other medical hospitals across the country to see if there are problems of this nature? So this thing starts ballooning bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We now know that before that, the rape victim's parents did confirm that she had kept a diary. But then that begs the question, why were some papers removed? What was so incriminating in those papers? So whatever you look at, here we are seeing a clear case of somebody doing cover-up. And in addition to that, they came and destroyed the evidence. So CBI couldn't get any evidence. So it begs the question, what exactly is CBI going to be able to prove? And it also is alleged that Dr. Ghosh was a TMC person. He was a TMC member, which is the reason why he got away with all these things. And how far are you going to stretch this thing? And what exactly is the idea behind all this? Now, the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance, and they have come up with some recommendations. Let's set that thing aside for a minute. Let's take a look at what else happened. The governor went to New Delhi. He met with the vice president. He met with the president. Most likely, he also met with the home minister. Now, Modi has gone on this trip to Poland and Ukraine, and so even though the cabinet is going to convene, one wonders what kind of resolutions they are going to take, what kind of decisions they are going to take. But I expect at the minimum, under Article 355, a letter should be sent to Mamata. And I've already told you in the morning, we did a survey. About 14,400 people took part in that survey. And the question was, should West Bengal be put under president's rule? The answer was an overwhelming 94%. Yes. So things have gone above, the water has gone above the head. People are saying enough is enough. People are out on the streets. You saw all those pictures and all those actions. Today there was a Bharat Bandh, by the way, and nothing happened. So that's another interesting story there. So you are going to see all these tamasha try to divert people's attention from what is happening in Bangladesh. By the way, I have some other updates on Bangladesh also. But before that, before that, let's take a quick look at what happened in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has suggested forming a national task force committee, which will give an interim report in 3 weeks and probably a final report in 2 months. So, is this going to in any way come in the way of CBI? I don't think so. Will that come in the way of the government making decisions like Article 355 and Article 356? I don't think so. Of course, I'm not a constitutional expert. Anyone who wants to opine on this by way of comments, please feel free to do so. This is where things are right now, but there are other things happening around here. Lipton Barua says Akhtar Ali, a former deputy superintendent at 𝗤𝙤𝘀𝘁𝘀 Medical College, told India Today that Sandeep Ghosh was involved in trafficking of biomedical waste and medical supplies to Bangladesh. So this is the other thing. You take syringes, you use them, you're supposed to dump them in a safe way. Evidently, this man used to sell them off to Bangladesh organizations for a profit. Were they going to reuse it? Oh my God. If somebody has a disease here, that will go to the new person. It's a terrible, terrible thought. So all these things are now being selling medical bio waste is strictly against the rules. Dr. Ghosh is being accused by Akhtar Ali of doing exactly that. So what is the remedy here? The moment this thing happened, he was transferred, but now looks like he has been suspended pending further investigation. But again, India has this amazing capacity to watch any case that comes its way. Will they do the right thing here this time around? We'll have to wait and see. But look at what is happening across the border into Bangladesh. But before that, there's also another thing that is happening. They are trying to obfuscate some facts. Somebody who did the postmortem said that there was up to 150 grams of semen in the vagina, and this data is now being doubted by a former IMA member, IMA officer, Indian Medical Association, saying that this is not possible, this is all body fluids, somebody can't say this thing. The person who performs the autopsy, the person who performs the postmortem, who do you think will know more? That person or somebody who's just coming in and trying to give a general statement that is not possible? Why are these people trying to opine like this? Anyway, people have their own mind, they are free to opine, but I think we need to stay focused on the case. This is something that India needs to learn. You take one thing, you have laser-like focus on that case and keep pointing to people to saying, solve this case, don't do anything else. There is a huge problem here. 𝗤𝙤𝘀𝘁𝘀 Medical College is a very reputed name, and if a reputed college like this has this kinds of challenges, what about the other hospitals? How good are they? That is the bigger question. How safe are doctors? I mean, Supreme Court has come up with a series of recommendations: private rooms for the women, private rooms for the men, and private bathrooms, separate bathrooms, so on and so forth. But why are they flogging doctors to work 36 hours non-stop? Even in the United States, you can't work beyond 16 hours. 16 hours is the maximum they allow anybody to work, even in emergency. So I don't know why this rule is still being in place. And this is just inhuman. Looks like she was asking some uncomfortable questions. This last 6 months, her life was hell. And the more I look at it, the more I read, the more depressed I get that these people, the TMC party people who are also charading as officers of this college, like principal and so on, these people are behaving in a very atrocious and diabolical manner. If a doctor has to see this kind of fate, what about the poor patients? So this is where things stand, and I'm going to just add something else which is very, very disturbing to me. 𝗤𝙗 TV, SOMOY TV, which has been showing all the Hindu atrocities, has been ordered to go offline by Bangladesh's High Court. How crazy can this get? Remember when Venkaiah Naidu was the INB minister, a ruling came that NDTV in fact did act in an anti-nationalistic manner, and that it should go off air for 24 hours, and this BJP government couldn't enforce it. I mean, this was when they had an absolute majority. What hope does anyone have of this government doing anything constructive here? I don't know. I'm hearing, and this is something that people maybe on the boots, who are on the ground can confirm, that the army is beginning to move towards West Bengal. I don't know from where to where and to what end. All these things are questions. It takes a finite amount of time for, like, things like tanks or even trucks to move. Is that what is happening? So this is just a general buzz going around that something like this is going to happen or is already happening. One doesn't know whether it's already happened or not. So we have to wait and see on that one also. Now, what exactly is the role of Mamata Banerjee in all these things? I mean, she is the home minister and she is trying to take a procession out against herself. She is responsible for the law and order. I mean, this girl is, I shouldn't say girl, she is like behaving like somebody not very rational. And that could be one reason to dismiss the government. Anyway, so these are all the things that we have seen thus far. And now I'll have a few questions from you, and then we will sign off on this program. Jagdish Bose wants to know why this whistleblower, Akhtar Ali, doesn't go to CBI's headquarters in Kolkata to tell all these valuable information that may help CBI. But even your platform knows all these by now. Jagdish Bose, it depends upon who connects them. If CBI contacts him, I'm sure he'll go and give a deposition in front of them. So things are still early. CBI is probably still trying to get as much evidence from the crime scene as possible, even though some of which or most of it has been destroyed. And this is the problem in India. Even the 26/11 case, right? Much of the shooting, the victims who fell outside the hotel, nobody could get any evidence because there were crowds milling about watching what was going to happen, as if there was a movie going on. Next one, please. Very Shastri, thank you so much for becoming YouTube member. Srikant Iyer wants to know, Sriji, while this is an absolutely shocking crime, I wonder if the government's series of actions creating an outrage are a distraction tool from Bangladesh, though the goals of distraction could also be either way. I have been saying this, and I've been wondering loud about this, that this could be a distraction, yes, and then there are many other distractions going on, such as derailing Sabarmati Express by putting a very big concrete block on the tracks. And it's everybody's train, it's everybody's road. If somebody feels that they should only try and stop things, disturb, they're also losing out. After all, remember that most Muslims are in self-employment business. They are self-employed. For them, things have to move smoothly. So why are they cutting their own nose? I don't know. Next one, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, why are these opposition MPs silent? They would have been shouting which was a BJP ruled state. I couldn't agree with you more, Magnet Rangaji. This is the sad state of affairs. Everything is politics. There is no dharma here. There is no rule of the land here. Everything is politics. That's how much we have descended into anarchy now. Next question, please. Srikant Iyer wants to know, West Bengal police should have denied permission for CM's procession like they did for national flag bike ride in Tamil Nadu. Well, how can they? I mean, she is the home minister too, right? I mean, it's a good idea, but she was the one who wanted to do it. See, she is trying to confuse people by saying that it is somebody else doing it. God damn it, you don't know how to do your job, then move aside. Next one. Suresh Kumar says, sir, hats off to you, but the issue is Modi government just wants to hype every issue and do nothing on criminals and convictions. Every crime is compromised by this shameless Modi government. Well, don't blame the government, because it's the whole bureaucracy that they inherited. Governments may change, but the bureaucracy doesn't change, right? If the bad habits have been picked up along the way, those things don't go. So it takes time to bring about that change, and I'm hopeful that in this term, the Modi government will accomplish a lot of these goals. We have to stay positive on that. I think that's all we have for now. Thank you very much for joining and watching this thing at such a short notice. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.